Good morning, India. Namaste, India. Sat Shri Akal, India. Assalamu alaikum, India. She speaks at 10. Now, before going further, I would like to wish you all a very happy Gurpur, as 2 days before only we celebrated the birth of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. India has a very rich culture from centuries, if you see, regarding giving importance to our mental health, mental stability in the form of yoga, meditation, as we all know. But I don't know how many of you are aware that since 500 years before, women empowerment also was an important issue in our country. Slowly, gradually, down the lane, we forgot some very important aspects of our life. Now, first of all, before going further, I would like to thank the Aambra Foundation and especially Miss Vinita Bakshi, who gave me this platform to speak about my journey, my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, the way I see mental health, how it developed, how it changed, so as to enlighten this people, the people who are attending this live session and who would also be seeing this recording, because this is the need of the hour. Now, the crux of the problem is so much that if you are mentally healthy today, thank God. So that is the magnitude of the problem. And we need people. We need people to be there for people in emotional distress, for people with mental disorders, for someone to lend an ear and give a helping hand to hold their hands, which this foundation has been doing. And it has to its credit a toll-free number, which is 1 1800 833 2300, which functions from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. from Monday to Saturday. Now, being here on this platform excites me so much because I am a mental health professional and I believe in women empowerment too. The plight of women can be understood from this fact that behind every successful man, behind every successful man is a woman, but behind every successful woman is another woman, usually her mate. So, to introduce myself, I am Dr. Harvandan Kaur Bedi, who has done her MD Psychiatry in 1998 from BJ Medical College, Pune. Now, you can imagine a scenario about more than 20 years back when I could have got almost any subject that I wanted to. So there was a lot of, you can say, opposition from my family to take this subject because at that time, hardly anyone knew who a psychiatrist is, leave alone talking about or even knowing about mental health issues. But we all need help. Like the Aambra Foundation is helping people, we all need help. That is the truth of life. That is the time my husband stood for me and said that if she wants to do psychiatry, if it is her passion, so be it. And that is how I joined my post-graduation in psychiatry. As they say, dream big, start small, but at least make a start. Once you make a start, the journey begins. The destination will reach itself. Enjoy the journey. I was actually all alone doing my post graduation because my husband, being an army officer, was posted somewhere else and used to come in between during his leave. I got pregnant during my post graduation, and all my pregnancy also, I was all alone. I had twins. Unfortunately, one of them aborted. So I was asked to take complete bed rest for 6 months. So I had to drop a semester. But in the end, after this rest, I gave birth to an awesome baby boy. And as they say, this too shall pass. And those difficult times passed. However, this was the start of another journey. I was not able to do my post graduation and take care of such a tiny baby all alone in my life. So herein came another hell. Herein came the story of another she speaks. My mother took my child when he was just 3 months old. She was the vice principal of Army Public School and knew very well that she is going to be the next principal. But she told me that my life, I have made whatever it was to be made. Now it is your chance. So after she took my child, I was able to pay more attention and do more justice to my learning. But you can imagine the scenario being a psychiatrist, learning about the mother-child bond, the effects on the child if the mother is not there in early childhood. And I used to stand in roads, stare at the children with tears in my eyes. However, this, now I realize that the strictness my teachers had shown to me was and is the cause of the confidence I have in managing my patients. So, if you remember at the beginning of my introduction of the story, what I had said, and the fact that my name includes Kaur, which means princess, I come from. I come from a culture where it is believed, why belittle a woman who gives birth to kings? Also, I was born after a long generation of males only being born, that is, a girl child born after many generations. So, the birth of mine was a joyous occasion in a family. So I was loved, I was cared for, I was happy-go-lucky child. And that is the time I developed this feelings which can be very well described by the song, I Wanna Fly, raise my hands and touch the sky. I wanna fly. Schooling was just awesome. I was extremely good in studies. Anyway, studies was a big issue in our house because we are a family of either doctors or dentists. And along with this, I was the best athlete in my school. I took part in dancing. I took part in extempos, debates, and poem recitations, both in Hindi and English. I didn't realize at that time that I was preparing for being a, going into my passion of community psychiatry because of the skills of public speaking which I had developed in my school time. So from my story till now, you must have realized that I did have my ups and downs, but we all need help. And if something unpleasant happens to you, get that unpleasantness to make you wise rather than wounded. However, this in no way is to demean anyone in emotional distress or with mental illness because it's not either black or white. It is a gray area with multiple complex issues interacting with each other, which lead to a person's breakdown. So, if you have a rubber band, if you have a rubber band, every rubber band on stretching will break at different points, which is its inherent resilience. So, all of us are born with some genetic vulnerability in certain areas of our body and mind. And it is this genetic vulnerability which decides ultimately the effect of stress on us. So almost all illnesses, at least 85% of illnesses are due to stress. Where you break down is your genetic vulnerability. So if you have hypertension, if you have diabetes mellitus, if you have a heart attack, well, it is all due to stress, like if you have depression or if you have, say, anxiety disorders. This is a very important take home message because a person with hypertension and diabetes flaunt their illnesses, whereas a person with depression or anxiety disorders go in a sort of hiding, whereas the cause of both is ultimately the same. It is only the manifestation in the area in your body which is different. And this is called, you must have heard so many times today, the mind body relationship. Well, since I'm from an army background and I have married to an army officer, so I obviously joined the army. Army taught me a lot of things, but one thing I would like to say is that the first time I faced gender bias is in my professional arena. When I joined my profession, I realized that a woman has to work double as much than a man to prove that she's just worth it. Luckily, it was very easy because in the medical profession that I'm in, the litmus paper test is the patient satisfaction. But you have to realize that I was a doctor in the armed forces. So, although I am still proud that I am an army officer, even though an ex-army officer now, but I was an officer and a doctor too. And there were certain duties an officer has to conduct. However, I felt that this was taking on the patient time. Now, there are many commandants of mine, the senior officers of ours we call commandants, whom I take upon the stage to be thankful. You may not know them, but they all know who they are so that they understood what my passion is and allowed me to work on my passion in that extra mile by taking lectures for the community, video conferencing lectures, holding camps in psychiatry, and making holding posters, doing quiz competitions, so that wherever I was posted, I made an effort that apart from clinical psychiatry, I do my passion of community psychiatry and make the community aware that there is something called mental illness, there is something called treatment for mental illness, and that it is like any other physical illness, and one need not be stigmatized for it, so that more and more people could come and avail the treatment. Now, I did counseling for my patients on my own. I saw to it that they were exposed to relaxation therapies of various types. And I also introduced art therapy in the armed forces, which in one station got us a special prize during the Diwali Mela and put the mentally ill on the forefront with lot of respect in the mind of the people, seeing their creativeness. Now, this all, this all was going on in all the centers that I was posted. And I have been posted in the busiest of busy centers, in the biggest of biggest centers. And I feel very lucky that almost 90% of times I was posted as the single psychiatrist only. So I could do all that my mind, my heart wished to do for the people. And I was representing Army in ANSIPS, that is Indian Psychiatry Society, by giving lectures from the Military Psychiatry Forum. And all this work of mine helped me gain a commendation right within the first 5 years of my professional career. Now, there are, it seems all very, uh, very glamorous, very hunky-dory, what I'm saying, but then some you win, some you lose. I have refused to go to the UN mission 3 times because my child didn't want me to go. He had already been subjected to separation anxiety in the childhood, and I didn't want this to happen to him again. I have refused going to the prestigious Armed Forces Medical College for teaching because, one, I just do not like teaching. I love my clinical psychiatry. And second, more than teaching, I'm passionate about community psychiatry and would rather spend and my time and energy in making the community aware, which is actually the need of the hour. So as my child came in 11th, I startly gradually withdrew my work from community psychiatry a little bit so that I could maintain the work family balance. And as I had already made a name in the fraternity, I now wanted that I have done whatever I could for myself. Now it is the time for my child to chase his dreams. So let him go and do so. And history repeated itself. My child wanted to do mechanical engineering, but he was getting in IITs, but what he was not getting was mechanical engineering. So I stood by his side and allowed him to go and chase and dream in the arena that he wanted to. Here I would like to, you know, um, tell all the parents, request them that let your child do whatever they feel like doing. Your profession is your second life. Let, let them live this life with love, with happiness, so that they, they are able to give more to the community. Please do not live your dreams through them or go by the stereotypes. Today, if you are good in any you know subject or any arena, the sky or even beyond is the limit. And it gives me great pride, and with humbleness I say that my child is going to do postdoc in engineering in Texas, USA. So this is one arena which will help relieve you from stress and your children too from stress if you give them this hand, let go them to do and follow their dreams. Children are very smart today. They know what they want to. Now, after I have recently, just 1 year ago, taken a premature retirement after 22 years of serving the Indian Army, and I am now working in Fortis Hospital in Chandigarh. I have restarted my community psychiatry, and I have extended it to the level of corporate arena also. Now, this platform is not just about me. This platform is also about mental distress, emotional distress, women in general, not a particular woman, but women in general. Things have changed. It's not that they have not changed, but they do need to be changed more. It is not that certain things are not the truth today also. Women is always, I wouldn't say always, but is usually the last priority when it comes to her education, the meals, the rest, even her health. If there are financial issues, the last priority for giving treatment would be the woman of the house. And which is so funny because if you realize it is the woman who is holding the house together. If you educate the man, only he remains educated. But if you educate a woman, the whole family becomes educated. And this is what is a fact in our family, that studies are very important, but it is more important to make a woman stand on her feet so that she is financially independent. And this, I feel, should be the thought process of each and every home. It is not as if men do not suffer from mental illnesses. It is not as if men do not have their stressors. It is not to undermine their problems. But since it is a She Speaks forum, the the treatment, okay, as far as drugs are concerned, even on that, I would like to say is that most of the drugs are done, their studies are done on men. But the wiring of male and female brain is totally different. So there might be a time in future when you may get his drugs and her drugs. That is the crux that we are facing today. So in no way to undermine anyone's problems, because the shoe where it pinches a person, that person only knows. But for a woman, the stressors are different. As per today, we may give the same drugs to a man and a woman, but the stressors are different for a woman. And that is how the treatment modality in aspect of where and how to counsel her, which support she needs, those are different. And in this regard, Miss Vinita Bakshi has really, I respect her for taking such a strong step to help out the women in distress and, you know, get them to speak, get them to open out. get them to be independent, get them regain their confidence, their right status in the society. It's a very big salute, ma'am. It's a very big step, ma'am, and I really salute you for it. And women empowerment is a is a dream, is my dream too, to see all the women, to make them feel that they need to fly, raise their hands, and touch the sky. Now I'll be speaking a little about various ways we can de-stress ourselves. One is to start very early in life because the no music please. One is to start very early in life because stress stress is omnipresent and there is no escaping it. It is the millennium's plague. So two measures of de-stressing oneself should be known to each and every person. Then the attitude. The attitude is very important as how you perceive a particular problem can magnify or minimize it. So let us all have and learn the attitude of gratitude so that we are always happy. Let us all help to train our minds to see the good in every position. Let us all see that no illness is demined, be it mental or physical. If you take, if I think like I have hypertension, if I think I can put my salt to zero and keep on walking even 60 kilometers a day and my hypertension will come under control, well, this is not going to be so. I will eventually have to take medicines. So let us not have this myth that uh, the drugs for mental illness, they are addictive, they that I can do only with de-stress measures like yoga, meditation, and well, if you need your medicines, you need them too for mental illnesses too. Like some people may say that a doctor is like a god. Well, it is this god only who made the hospital and who made the medicines. So please to take your medicines in time, be compliant with your medicines, and you may be taking psychiatric medications, walking on the road, doing well in your life, but nobody would even know that you have a mental illness. It is when you neglect your treatment due to stigma, due to bias, due to myths, that is when things become chronic. And if there is chronic hypertension, if there is complication in diabetes, they have their own effects. And so does the presence of a mental illness, which is not properly treated. Learn to love yourself. If I ask you this question, that in the in the list of things that you love, where are you? Where do you stand? Do you even consider yourself to be in that list? So if your cup is empty, what are you going to pour into the cups of others? And being a woman, being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter, by being a daughter-in-law, if there is nothing in your cup, you're going to pour in nothing in others' cup too. So love yourself, have me time. It is not selfish. It is in fact a priority thing to do because if you're not physically healthy, you're not going to be able to take care of others. And if you're not mentally happy, you will not, if a woman is not happy in the house, the whole house will be in a cloud of unhappiness. See to your diet, see to the diet of your children. There is a whole section of food and mood, and the change in our dietary lifestyle from the last 50 years is one of the major causes of stress in the current arena. What I learned from military psychiatry is that you can lose some, battles. Like I chose to lose some battles. to win the war finally. You have to win the war. So small battles in life can be, you can choose to, they can be lost. What is to be won is the war itself. And that battle and ground are both in the mind. They're both in the mind. Battle and win are both in the mind and they're not on the ground. So that is the importance of your mind. So we should never demean our mind and nature, which has been going on for years together with so much precision. How can it make such a wrong decision that it put your mind on the top, whereas you're working daily, day in and day out to feed your stomach? But still, it put the mind on the top because it is the thing which controls your whole body. So, the UPS of a computer, sorry, the CPU of the computer, can it not get, can it not get shut down? If it can, so does your mind too. So take care of it. It is the most important. It is the most important part of your body. And if it is in problem, you will have multiple problems in your physical body too. So I hope now I wish there are many ways to de-stress yourselves. A short a short relaxation therapy, a short relaxation therapy I would be exposing you to, which would run for 5 minutes, and you would see the effect of it. So please do as is directed in this therapy.
We will begin by taking 3 deep breaths. Now, we will start with tensing and relaxing each part of our body, starting with the toes. Imagine you are an ape on the tree. Apes hold on to branches with their feet. Clench your feet. Curl them like grabbing a branch really hard. One, two, three, and release. Let them go limp and notice how it feels. Let's try clenching our legs. Clench your legs. One, two, three, and release. Notice how it feels. See if you can feel any difference between the muscles when they were tensed and when they are relaxed. Next, imagine someone throwing a basketball at your stomach. So make your stomach really hard. Tighten your stomach muscles. One, two, three, and release. Now, pretend you are squeezing lemons in your hand. Squeeze your hand. One, two, three, and relax. Now, stretch your arms high above your head. Feel the pull in your shoulders. One, two, three, and relax. Let your arms drop down. Let them dangle on your sides like cooked spaghetti noodles. Now imagine yourself to be a turtle pulling his head inside his shell. Pull up your shoulder to your ears and push your head down. One, two, three, and release. Smile as widely as you can. One, two, three, and release. Press your lips tight together. One, two, three, and relax. Now close your eyes as tightly as you can. One, two, three, and release. Clench your forehead. Wrinkle it into a deep frown. One, two, three, and release. Now clench your face. Make a silly face with as many wrinkles as you can. Scrunch your nose. Clench your jaws. One, two, three, and release. Now clench your entire body. One, two, three, and release. Let's do it one more time. Clench your entire body together and hold the tension. One, two, three, and release. Take 3 deep breaths. And open your eyes whenever you're comfortable.
All of you should do it in your daily life. And I would like to end with a heartfelt gratitude to the Aambra Foundation and Miss Vinita Bakshi for giving me this platform to speak on the issue of mental health and women empowerment too. If anything I can do in future, it would be my pleasure to do it because I believe in community psychiatry and I believe in increasing awareness. And the awareness should be from a reliable source because awareness from unreliable sources is actually causing more problem. There are always pros and cons to a situation. And what the COVID has done is that it has made the people more aware of their mental health issues, more aware of the distress, emotional distress they are facing, and people have now started coming out. So we need more such foundations. We need more of mentors, more people who are trained to deal with mental health issues, and this platform will do this job a very well job in doing this. Now, that's because there's hope even when your brain tells you that there is not. There is hope even when your brain tells you there is not. And this hope is called mental health awareness and mental health support. So, the slogan of Stop Exclusion, Dare to Care. Now I think the time has come that we should change it to Stop Exclusion, Dare to be Cared. There are many of us who are daring to care people in emotional turmoil, in emotional distress, in having mental disorders. So we So from my side, it's an open invitation. Whenever any any such program needs to be done, I'm always available because it's my passion and I think it's my duty towards my nation. So thanks a lot, all of you, and Jai Hind.